7 pricing myths sellers shouldn't fall for. Let's put it up on the screen. There it is. And we'll start talking about it now. Myth, right? It's something that you've heard for years, but may or may not be true. Number 1, is it better to price the home on the high side because the seller can always come down? Myth. Because if buyers are interested, they can make an offer. They can make any type of an offer. Well, not quite. If a home is overpriced, the seller takes risks. They take risks of losing potential buyers who aren't stretching their search into an uncomfortable area or price range, or they were just under that price range, right? And what really this comes down to is, you've heard your mom always say, you never get a second chance to make a first impression. So don't screw around with being high on your price. It's going to limit the amount of people who see your home. You'll limit the amount of buyers, and you just don't know how many buyers there are out there at that moment in time for your house. So price wise, my friends.
Yoda says, price wise, my friends. Be wise.
Don't mess around with price, okay? Get it right the first time. Be there where you want to be. Along with that, myth number 2, if a home is priced just right, a seller risks leaving money on the table. No, actually the opposite is true. A well-priced home tends to generate a lot more interest, a lot more views, and can result in multiple offers. And when you have a multiple offer situation, what did you do? You switched it from a buyer's market to a seller's market, and you typically get more money or shorter escrow or something that you wanted versus something that they wanted. So that's a myth. It's a good thing to be priced exactly right. Shorter marketing span ends up bringing stronger offers, and that could result in a home selling for over the asking price, which is really cool. Buyers are less likely to play let's make a deal with you, and you and I both know that you hate that. And they're not going to nitpick every little thing that they feel is so urgent or compelling, or and that what they don't know is whether or not there's other interested parties, right? So they have this mystery going on. Are there other people interested in this house? Because it's priced so well, there must be more people interested. And then that human factor comes in, and they start competing for your business. Number 3, myth. The price gets better with time. If it doesn't sell, the seller will get a better price the next time they put it on the market in springtime, when the flowers are blooming and the kids are getting out of school and blah, 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 blah. There's lots of ways to spin that, but it's been said before, but it needs to be said again. A home that sits is not like a fine wine. It does not get better with time. The longer a home stays on the market, the more likely buyers are to start questioning its viability, its value. What's wrong with this thing? Why didn't it sell the first time? And that's all information that's available to them. So it's not like they're not going to know it didn't sell the first time. Subsequently, any offers that come in tend to be perceived as too low by the seller, and then that frustrates the seller, right? So now you get a bunch of frustrated people. So it doesn't get better in time. Sell it when you want to sell it. And a lot of times, by the way, it should sell to the very first offer. I know it's crazy, but it's true. Myth number 4. This number X is as low as the seller is willing to go. That's it. We're not messing around with this. So what happens when you're faced with an offer that's less than what they want? The sellers, I don't know what it is about them, but they like to draw lines in the sand and dig in their heels, and some arbitrary number that they think, I don't know, maybe they saw it on a website and got an estimate. I don't know. But you can't draw lines in the sand with these types of negotiations, people. It's not necessarily some arbitrary number that's in your head. There's stuff that goes into this. Buyer demand, lots of things go in. Supply and demand, economics. Remember high school people? Don't get bottom line, right? I mean, who decides what a property is ultimately worth anyway? Buyers see the glass half empty. Sellers see the glass half full. And in some markets and real estate cycles, they're holding the cards, and some you're holding the cards. A seller can decline an offer based on a number anytime they want, but they can never get back anything with a closed mind. I don't know. I know I'm saying that wrong, but you close off your mind and you're going to lose. And it's a simple thing in life. And it's really a big part of a negotiation. Okay. Number 5, an offer should come in close to asking price. So that's a huge myth. If you've sold homes or bought homes, this is your first home. No, that's not true. If you've done this before, think back. An offer is not necessarily going to come in right at your asking price. For the most part, what are they going to do? They're going to lowball, right? So it starts the process. It begins the negotiation, the conversation. Sellers are often disappointed at the initial price when an offer is received, and they ask, why so low? Does a seller really think that a buyer is going to be so generous and wonderful with their initial offer that they're going to say, oh, this is it. It's wonderful. I'm giving you all the money you wanted. Unless it's a really hot market, right? And you've got multiple bids going on and they've tried to buy 10 houses already and lost out to another bidder and blah, blah, blah. That's not what I'm talking about. So don't look at this and say, yeah, but what if? I'm talking about on the average. Normally, what happens? Buyers come in low. Sellers don't like it. You got to start a negotiation period. Or if you're priced aggressively, then it might just come in at that. But let's just go with the normal stuff. Buyers are going and willing to make an offer for what they want to, especially on the first pass. They want to get a sense of the seller's flexibility too, right? They want to know whether or not you've got a lack of compassion, or they want to know what's going on with you. So for God's sakes, just be open-minded. Think of this in a simple fashion. It's a negotiation. It's going to go both ways. So just let it go. Let it go. Relax. Have fun with the process. Don't get angry with it, because anger changes everything. Number 6, outdated features shouldn't impact the selling price. Myth. So the home has upgrades from 1990 with white melamine cabinets with beveled edges and laminate counters and, I don't know, builder grade 12 by 12 inch tiles, brass fixtures. Oh my God, that's just horrible. And the buyer, how do I put this? The seller expects the buyer to do their own upgrades, right? They've already said how much they want to pay for the house, and we've already negotiated it. I want you to pay full asking price, and I want you to change your own fixtures. Well, reality check, right? Reality check here, people. The buyers are looking at how much they're going to have to spend to bring all of that stuff up to today's standards and what they want. So it's either been negotiated into the price, or they're going to want some things changed. And that's just the way things go. Number 7, myth. The buyer's offer is simply too far off the asking price to counter back. This one drives me crazy. So you list your house for $700 and the buyer offers $600, and you're like, that is just so insulting. It's so bad. I just can't stand it. Oh my God. I don't even want to talk to them anymore. Just make them go away. Hello, you got an offer on your house. A bird in the hand is worth 2 in the bush. Did you ever hear that? A buyer has stepped up and shown interest. They put a pen to the paper and they offered you something and made you a proposal. Begin the negotiation. Start discussions. Like I think I said earlier, sometimes the first offer you get is the only offer you get, and it might be the best. Don't be insulted by a lowball offer. Just start the negotiations and go back. It can be easy to get offended, but it's best to keep emotions out of the whole situation, or at least as much as possible. Work in good faith with what was presented. A seller will learn quickly if it looks like a good deal may come together. Pricing a property is a delicate dance. The bottom line is that the market doesn't guarantee as strong a price as the seller usually wants or expects. Unless the home's in a highly sought after area, blah, blah, blah. We already talked about that, or if it's rare, whatever. It doesn't have to be. It's all a negotiation. So let's make it a negotiation.